Welcome everybody to Sharp Best Fantasy Sets. Week 3, another week in the books here. I've given up on my Dallas Cowboys hat, and I'm wearing my hat. All dogs deserve love from AdoptMyBlock.com. Dirtbag Dan was a battle rapper who turned into saving animals and dog shelters. So buy this hat and you'll support animals in need. Pretty cool. Also, check us out at TruExact Radio on all platforms. Buy some merch. It's the link below. I'll attach it. But enough of that banter of me just going on about nonsense. And the reason I am doing that is because there's 3 losers here and only 1 winner, so we don't want to get to the show as quick as possible. Week 3 in the books. Let's start with the winner, though, before we get... Let's start with some positivity. The only person who's a fan here, Mike, your Buffalo Bills won. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm very impressed with the Bills right now. They're hitting on all cylinders. And honestly, the whole thing was Josh Allen being a turnover machine, and he's one of the quarterbacks in the NFL who does not have a turnover yet. So how about that? Wow. The other one is Patrick Mahomes, though. So still our kryptonite.
I still believe I believe Josh Allen fumbled in week 1, if I'm not mistaken.
He didn't lose it though.
Jacoby Brissett doesn't have a turnover neither.
Yeah, they're not in the same class, though, man. Sorry.
He said quarterbacks in the NFL without a turnover.
I have to look that up because I looked it up this morning. It was Mahomes and Allen, but maybe you're right.
I think you mean interception because I think Josh Allen fumbled, but we could look that up. We could ask our friend who plays basketball with us. I'm sure he fucking knows and has it locked in if he has a turnover.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're right. I think that's what it is. It's interceptions.
That's fine. I have a feeling Mike's gonna turn us against the Bills by the end of the year because I don't think me and Sir and I have no gripe with the Bills. Like it's like, oh, good for them. Nas is a Patriot fan, but I just have a feeling by the end of the year we're gonna hate the Bills a little more. Congratulations on
How can you hate the Bills? I don't understand. We've never won a Super Bowl.
Usually you don't hate the team. You end up meeting a fan who makes you hate the team. And I hate to say, you might be on that path, Mike. It just might be that. But, hey, if you win the Super Bowl, fuck us. Who gives a shit? Congrats on being 2-0. Sir, you're Niners. Sam Darnold's revenge game, if you will. Did you feel confident about going to that game? Because Mike here at the bar did say that the Vikings were going to win. I have to bring that up. He brought that up to me at 12:30 while we were on our way to the bar. So congrats, Mike, on that. But, sir, how'd you feel about the game?
Honestly, historically, they haven't really had a good performance in Minnesota. Like, they lost last year in Minnesota. Like, I don't know, for some reason, they don't really play well there. So that wasn't it sucked that they lost, but it wasn't it's not it's not end all be all. The injuries was getting me more, get Debo going down and so now the injuries are starting to add up, but the loss doesn't really. It's still early in the season.
Very early. That's what I tell myself every year. Nas, I saw you cried on Instagram. We should have won this game with your Patriot post. Well, tough. You didn't, and you can't score. So explain how you should have won that game and what really happened.
They called the defensive pass interference with Tyler Lockett that I don't really think was pass interference. That gave them, the spot foul, kick field goal, winning overtime, but we did touch the ball in overtime. We didn't get a first down when we needed to, so we lost. But I feel like we should have won that.
Right. Much like America, I didn't watch any of that game. So I just have to take your word for it because not a lot of people are tuning in to the Patriots Seahawks unless you're in a survivor pool, which, by the way, the Ravens fucked me as the Bengals fucked me last week. So screw the AFC North on all levels. My Dallas Cowboys.
Not for nothing. That 4:00 slate minus the Chiefs game kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, that was
terrible.
Yeah, don't worry. This week we got Ravens Cowboys at 4:00. So tune in for that barn burner. Anyway, to my Cowboys, I have nothing to say. I'm actually happy to get those performances out of the way early. I know it's a cop-out, Nas, but hey, it's the NFL. These things happen. They do. The Cowboys have been dominant at home and in the regular season. So, you know what? Fine. Get it out of the way. It was a wake-up call. Saints still aren't that good. If the Cowboys had to go into New Orleans to play them in the playoffs, fine. I'll sign for that right now because the chance of them throwing up 44 again just ain't going to happen. Derek Carr, don't like. He cries in the huddle. Yeah, I'll pass. Anyway, that's me.
I think Kamara owns you guys. I think he always has a good game.
Well, yeah, Kamara, Aaron Jones, there's a few running backs who do good. But the Saints-Cowboy games, like I said, even 15, 20 years ago, they've always been weird. If you go back and check, they're blowouts sometimes, but then the Saints are favored and the Cowboys win. It's just weird fucking games. So, all right, we'll get into some other stuff here. Tua injury. Mike, I know you in the group chat had some stuff to say about that. You're a Bills fan. You're a Pats fan up there. You're in the same division. I know it doesn't matter when it comes to health. He just went on the IR. Sir, I'll start with you though, since me and you aren't in the division here. All right, Tua injury. Any advice you might have if it was somebody close to you? Even though there's not much you can do when you got 200 million on the table. What do you think?
Bro, like like there's more than life than just football, man. Like it's like step aside, but like say worth it. I mean, I know like a lot of people would want to be in your shoes and get paid millions to play a game, but like, bro, like you still got plenty of life to live after the game. Like you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, it's his life. Like he's probably gonna want to keep playing, but if it was somebody that like that was close to me, I'd probably tell him, yo, worry about your health, man. Don't it ain't worth it.
Right, and I don't disagree, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he should have been playing even that game. It was the injuries that he had before that I thought he would retire, but supposedly he got cleared by some neurologist said he can play. But in the NFL, you're going to take a hit whether you try to avoid it or not. It's inevitable. So I think he should retire. I think the Dolphins are effed with that contract. I don't know if there's injury clauses in that contract, but yeah, I mean, I don't like to see it happen. It sucks that Hamlin was the one to do it to him.
Yeah.
Just because of what happened to him, and everybody's like on Hamlin about it. Like these Dolphins fans are like messaging him and stuff. But yeah, I do think he should hang him up. I mean, like you said, long life to live, and it's not worth it for a few years, a few Sundays in your life.
Yeah. Nah.
I think there is an injury clause. Like I think like he's guaranteed like 160 million if he has to retire due to injuries. Like so, but I mean he has to be like doctors have to say, yo, he can't play. So I mean it's easy for doctors to be like, hey, he can play, and so that way they don't put them on the risk for that.
I have a Dolphins friend who said let him decide his own career, like if it's his choice.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, like I figure, like I just said, the doctors they're more tied to the team, so like they don't want the team to get stuck with that. So like. They can say, put him out there. But I feel like if he goes out there again and gets hurt, like a lawsuit could be on their hands. So
when I seen that hit and I seen his fingers, I thought it was over. Like I thought it was done. But he got up. They said he got up on his own power. But I feel like he should just hang it up. Just hang it. It's not like you said, like Sir said. It's more than like life is more than football. I know it's 200 million you're getting or whatever, but it's your health, man. Next one could be it. It could be, it might not be no more.
Yeah, and it's obviously easy for us to say because we say life is more than football, but you're forgetting these people, all they've known is football since 7 years old. Like, this is life. Like, they don't really know anything other than playing the game, and a lot of them, after they're done playing the game, announce. They're around the game their entire life, so, I mean, that's that. We'll see. Apparently he went on high RFE. And the hit didn't even look that bad initially. That's what was weird. It was like, you stay down, and it's like Nas said, the fingers, which is very fucking weird. I know if that ever happened to me, you'd have to cart me off.
He did it the last time too. The last time he got a concussion, like his fingers all bent. Apparently, something that happens, like I don't know, some kind of like something like it happens. Yeah, something I know like when your brain rattles, your fingers get all bent out, and not a good look.
I thought it was over.
Well, I would have
not a good look for the NFL, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. Especially the NFL is talking about safety, and now like. You got this dude who every time he takes a hit, he's done. So
but there's just like there's only so much you could do. The players are just so athletic now and strong. Yeah. It's just I don't know what you can do. Maybe in like 20 years, the game won't even look the same. It might even turn into like a touch game. It could. Who the fuck knows? And
go play flag football. They're in the Olympics, right?
Yeah, we could. I wish we had done the show on that whole quarterback. Had the controversy with Mahomes, but whatever. If that ever happened to me, I'd have to get carted off, and I'd give a thumbs down, so like the crowd wouldn't know, like whether to cheer. Like, oh no, that's not a good sign. Things like that. Okay, let's go into some teams that were probably shocked or 0-2. The Ravens and Bengals. Mike, too early to panic, even though the AFC is tough and the Steelers are 2-0. Who's more shocked? Who are you more shocked about, Bengals or Ravens being 0-2? And is this kind of a little eye-opening to maybe Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow aren't the quarterbacks people say they are, and your boy Josh Allen should be number 2 behind Mahomes?
I mean, they both lost to two really bad teams, the Patriots and the Raiders, which I think the Raiders might be good at the end of the year. I don't know, but in the beginning of the season, they're not ranked pretty high. So there's two bad losses. Out of both teams, I think I would say probably the Bengals are a little more panicky because T. Higgins is still not healthy and Jamar Chase has a whole contract situation. I don't think the Bengals defense is as good as the Ravens to keep them in some games. But I do think, Joe Burrow is still Joe Burrow. So if I had to pick one team, I'd probably say the Bengals more panic, but I do think they'll both be in it at the end of the year. They're just too good of teams.
A lot of people might say stuff like, let's go around. I'll get to it at the end. Sir, what do you think?
No, Mike, to your point, I would say like that, but I would say to that exact point, the Ravens have to panic more because, like, the Bengals, I feel like, Joe Burrow's coming back from injury, so he's kind of still trying to get his feet under him. Jamar Chase is, he didn't really practice in the offseason because with his contract thing, T. Higgins is gone. So, like, the Ravens, like, you brought in Derrick Henry, you know what I'm saying? You got Andrews back, you know what I'm saying? Zay Flowers, like, this was like, oh, we lost the Chiefs, we're coming back, and then you start off 0-2, like, all right, you lose to the Chiefs, that's no it's no slouch, but then you go up and lose to the Raiders, like, come on, now y'all should be panicking because you got to if you want to make the playoffs, you got to skip over, you got to it's a tough division, so I think the Ravens should panic more.
Yeah, not wrong, Nas.
I feel like Cincinnati should panic. I feel like Cincinnati should panic more because they got a lot going on over there. Like, I get T. Higgins is hurt. Jamar Chase, we can clearly see doesn't want to. He wants to play, but he doesn't want to play. And they just got I feel like they got a lot they have to work on. Like, they have to get that inner squad back together. The Ravens, on the other hand, all right, you lost to the defending champs in week 1. You was up 10 on Sunday and blew that. Like, oh, it happens. Like, it happens.
It's the NFL. It happens, man.
It happens. Yeah, you said it, Scott. It happens.
Yes,
but
I know.
I feel like Cincinnati has more problems going on, like in the locker room and stuff like that they should get together before. I feel like they should get that together first.
That's fair. Also, people forget that week 3 last year, the Ravens lost at home to the Colts, and I want to say it was Gardner Minshew again.
It happens.
Like in Baltimore. I'm going to go with the Ravens, and here's why. Because usually Cincinnati's at home this week versus Washington. They got a chance to get a win on the board. Baltimore's at Dallas. That's not an easy game, especially with Dallas coming off that loss. And if you start 0-3, that's not easy to dig out of. 0-2 you can, but 0-3 is really hard. So that game is going to be a lot this weekend for both teams, even though the NFC East isn't going to be as strong. So, 9-8, 10-7 come with that division. So this game is a lot more important for the Ravens. But, Mike, to your point with the Josh Allen thing you always bring up, Joe Burrow always gets put over Josh Allen. And it's very weird because he's been injured 2 out of the 5 years he's been a starter. And it's almost like Joe Burrow gets so much credit for losing a Super Bowl. And Josh Allen just doesn't get praised for nearly getting there each time, even though he's been consistent and not injured for 7 years. So, like, gun to my head, I'm taking Josh Allen over Joe Burrow. Like, do you think Burrow gets a pass?
No, I don't think he gets a pass. I think he gets judged pretty well. I think Josh Allen, with the way he's judged is with the turnovers, right? The guy can't stop turning over the ball. I don't think that's the case with Burrow. With the Bengals, they did make it to a Super Bowl, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he has that over Josh.
Should have won it, too. There's a bullshit pass interference call at the end. He actually should have won it. But
yeah.
I don't know. Like, really,
I think talent-wise, Josh Allen's a better talent than
I would
Joe
say
Burrow.
Quarterback. He's a better quarterback. I think he's a better quarterback.
Yeah, I would say so too. Mahomes and Allen are my top 2.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
I would agree with that.
Yes, sir. What do you think? I know you're a Purdy guy and you hate these wins, and every win matters. Brock Purdy doesn't get credit for losing a Super Bowl like Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah. And you say, the referee's making bad calls? That never happens.
No, do you agree though? He almost gets put on a pedestal for losing that Super Bowl, and I don't know. Is it weird? Am I wrong here?
I said this. I don't know. I don't know about weird, but I said Joe Burrow. He's no they should have beat KC last week. They had a beat.
That's true.
So
yeah, and he does play good versus the Bengals.
Yes.
Am I going crazy?
He does play well against KC, but I said they should have easily won that game. But again, the referees got involved in.
Well, no. Here's another thing. Like, Lamar is kind of in the boat as Josh Allen. he never got there yet, and he, it is what it is. But like Burrow kind of maybe gets a pass because he got to that Super Bowl. Like, do you agree, Allen? And
Yeah, that's what I think. I feel like being so he beat the top dog at Arrowhead when it mattered. That's
fair.
why he at the top like that. You understand? That's why he get the praise he can, or when he loses, it's not that big of a deal because he did what these other quarterbacks in the AFC haven't done yet.
To your point, though, Nas, that the last segment we just did, that's probably why the Ravens should panic more than the Bengals, because you ain't getting home field now, and the Ravens going into Arrowhead, they haven't proved it, and the Bengals proved they can. So that's
But
a
is any yeah, but
little tidbit there, little tidbits. We call it backtracking. Last topic, then we get to the picks. The Giants. We'll stay local here because I like to see them miserable. So 0-2. They didn't even let them a touchdown. And they scored 3 touchdowns, and they still lost because their kicker got hurt chasing down a kick. You can't write this. It's hilarious. And the best part is Giant fans sit there and they're like, well, we're only 1 game out. We're 0-2. It's like, bro, wake up. You stink.
yeah.
Like, you fucking stink.
I gotta bet in with a friend of mine that the Giants finished last in the NFC East.
It'll be close because
It'll be close, but
yeah, it'll be.
This win helped a lot.
It did. All right, so the Giants. I want to know, Mike, is Daboll on the hot seat here? Because before you get going, they're 0-2 right now. They have at Cleveland versus Dallas, at Seattle versus the Bengals. Then they're bye and at Pittsburgh. I mean, I know they could win any game, but you might be looking at 0-6, 1-6 here. Like, is Dave? What do you do if you're a Giant GM?
They're not going to fire Dable, I don't think. GM, unless they fire the combo GM and coach.
Yeah.
Sean Dable's boy and Dable Sean's boy, they came from Buffalo. So I don't think they both have to go. But I think Jones gets benched. I think that's what they do. They eat Jones' contract. They start either Locke or Tommy Cutlets, and they call it a year. I mean, they need a quarterback next year, and the only way to get one is to stink. And I think at some point they're just gonna call it quits on Jones.
Right, and Dak signed.
I don't think they fired Daboll now. I don't.
Dak signing that contract. I think a lot of Giant fans had hopes that would be their quarterback, honestly. So that kind of knocked out another possibility there. You're looking at the draft, sir.
I don't think he's on the hot seat. I mean, because in order to be on the hot seat, you have to expect something, right? Like you have to be and like, did the Giants really expect to do anything this year? Like,
well, the problem is they overachieved this first year, and it set bad expectations. It's like ironic how that might fuck them.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it's like I think they said they want to see what they had with Jones, and then like if they don't see anything, they'll move on. Because like, I mean, listen, they drafted the kid Neighbors when they had an opportunity to draft a quarterback, but I mean, Neighbors has been balling out. So like he's been one bright side for the team. So
he did drop that big pass.
Yeah,
but I mean, drops do happen. And I'm saying, but like
Eagles know about that.
Yeah, but I think this is the last year probably of Jones in New York. So
yeah, Nas, what about you? I think I'm the only one who's got Daboll on the hot seat here.
I think he's on the hot seat too. I'm with you because, like you said, they overachieved in his first year. They went to a
division round.
They went to a road playoff game at Minnesota and beat a Vikings team that wasn't that bad. So I feel like he is on the hot seat.
I as well, but I hope that he's not, and I hope that they, just keep spiraling out of control. But even if he does get fired, I'm sure they'll bring somebody in who's good, like when they brought in McAdoo or Pat Shurmur or Joe Judge. So they seem to be making great decisions the past 10 years since Coughlin. They honestly probably should never fire. Is what it is. Really quick.
I feel like you guys were saying that just for this New York team. Like if it was the Cleveland Browns and it was just like, he wouldn't be on the hot seat, but because
different expectations.
New York
that New York media is something different, bro.
Yeah,
different. So.
Bro, Aaron Boone's won like 100 games 4 times, and they want him fired.
Yeah, every year they call for his head. They call for his head. They call for Cashman's head every year.
Boone makes Boone-headed decisions.
Yeah, yes, yeah, I like that.
Moment, he does not know how to coach.
No, I agree. All right, really quick. Coaches, would you guys agree they overthink this game sometimes? Like, even the Lions, and this happened last year versus the Niners when Dan Campbell didn't kick the field goal to tie it, and he's going for it. Sometimes just take the 3. The Eagle game, first quarter, it's 4th and 5 from the 12. Take the 3 points. They go for it. They don't get it. Okay, you could have gone up 3-0 there. Take the 3. Then at the end of the game, I know Saquon catches it, it's over. You run the ball, you get stopped, you kick the field goal. Now they have 38 seconds to go 70 yards. Like, what are we doing here? When we were kids, you never would have seen this many 4th down, like, go for it. They play it like they're playing Madden now. Mike.
So I do think that, I do think that they have a shot of, I'm sorry, my dogs were just.
It's all right. It's fine. Okay, sir, we got to come back to Mike.
Yeah, they do be getting greedy, especially like, sometimes you take the easy 3 and like just, try to play some defense or like try to actually like get a stop. Instead there's, we're this close, let's try to get 7. I mean, 7 is more than 3, but sometimes take that 3 and keep it moving.
Right. If you take that 3 in the beginning of the game, I know it changes, but then that 3 at the end of the game wins the game. So, Nas.
I understand everything you're saying about taking the 3, but it's a simple fact of these are human beings too. So they hear what people are saying, or why didn't you go for that? Or why didn't you do that? Or that 4th down could have changed like the game. And it's an ego thing, like you said. It's like, okay, if we go for this 4th down and we get it, I'm the man.
Yeah. I look at it in real time. I look at it in real time. If like I'm watching and I like, when you have like an instinct, like just you blurt out, like you just know eyeing it up. And you say as a fan, kick it or fucking go for this. Fucking go for this. Like watching that game in the first quarter, I'm like, kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. Like, so it's like a lot of times I'm wrong, but I don't know. I go for in the moment. Mike, you ready?
Yes, sorry. My dogs were barking at a rabbit and just making a lot of noise. Anyways, my biggest thing is that if they're going to go for that pass on 3rd down and know that if they drop that ball, they should have just gone for it on 4th down too. They shouldn't kick the field goal. You make the team at least want to kick a field goal. With you kicking a field goal, now they have to score a touchdown, right? So they have to score a touchdown now, and now you're going to lose the game if they do.
Also, overthinking it. If it's 4th and 3, why not? Or 3rd and 3, run the ball, get a yard, and do the tush push, or do the tush push twice. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why the Eagles on 3rd and 2 don't do the tush push to get it to 4th and 1.
And just do it again.
Like it's I don't know. Maybe it's just like.
And if you watch that game
this year, I still early, but I feel like the tush push isn't as effective without Kelce.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I watched it a couple times. Like last week, I was like, "Yo, it's not as
It can be stopped.
It's not as guaranteed because like last year, I felt like it was automatic. I would get annoyed because like, yo. They get 4th and 1, tush push, 1st down. Like
and then Jalen Hurts leads the league in rushing touchdowns. Yeah, like, come on,
I don't know. It's not as guaranteed as it was.
Yeah. Let's back off. If you watch the games, these aren't rushing touchdowns. Let's take it back a notch. All right, that's it. Let's get to our picks here. Scott, put the standings up, but don't look at mine because they're terrible. We got Sir in the lead at 3-2-1, Mike at 3-3, Nas 2-4, and me with a goose egg last week. And I'm at 1-5 in the basement here. My picks, I do it again. They weren't bad picks. The teams just didn't come through. I stand by that. So, Sir, since you're in the lead at 3-2-1, and that tie might be the deciding factor at the end of the year, you started off here.
All right. My first pick, I'm going to Thursday night. I'm taking the Patriots +6 over the New York Football Jets. I don't know why this spread is 6 points. I feel like this is going to be this feels like a field goal type game. I'm not saying the Patriots are going to win, but like this game feels kind of close. I don't know. That's just my feeling for and the weather might not be the best. So give me the Patriots +6. My second pick, give me the Titans -2 over the Packers. I bet against the Packers last week, and the Colts kind of blew my face a little bit. But they didn't win last week because of Malik Willis. They won because they headed the ball to
Jacobs.
The running back like 38 times or 40 times. Malik Willis didn't do a damn thing that game. So, and the Titans have a good have a pretty top 3, top 5 defense. So Malik Willis is going to have to do something. But that
Jordan Love is questionable for that game.
I know. I said Malik
That's
Wilson.
crazy.
Malik Wilson's playing that game.
He's questionable. He's not out.
He won't
Yeah,
play.
he's been practicing, but I don't think he's playing. I think they're gonna give Malik Wilson a game, but like, nah. So give me the Titans -2. If Jordan Love does play, well, whatever. But it is what it is. But I don't think so. So the Titans -2, and then by pick 3, the Chiefs -3.5 over Atlanta. You know, when is this game being played? What, Sunday Night Football?
Yeah.
That's called prime time, correct?
Whoa. Kirk Cousins just won a prime time.
I still don't trust Kirk Cousins in prime time. They didn't look that good. Like the Eagles should have won that game, and you know they let him off the hook, as a wise man once said. So give me Patrick Mahomes -3.5.
Sir, I've been doing this show you 5 years, and you've always had a thing against Kirk Cousins.
Damn right. Damn right. You like that? No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? He's not that good. He's been robbing teams for years. Come on.
All right, Mike, you're 3-3. We'll still go you next.
So I'm gonna go against Sir here. I'm gonna take the Jets -6 Thursday night. I think the Pats are gonna really show their true colors. Jets are gonna, I think, start hitting their stride right now. I think Pats have a few guys out on the offensive line. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, but I think they'll cover the -6.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take that Kansas City game too, but I'm gonna take the over at 46. I just think it'll be more of a shootout than people think it will be. I think it should be closer to like 50. But yeah, I'll take the over on that game at 46. And then I'm gonna take, with no Tua, I think the Dolphins are really gonna struggle. We've seen how they play without him, and I don't think they can put up points unless A-Chain like has a crazy game against the Seahawks, which is possible. But I'm gonna take the Seahawks -4.5 versus the Dolphins.
That's fair. That's a good pick, Mike. That 4.5 was a little weird, right? I don't know. I feel like it should be more.
4. Like, why is 4 like? I mean, I don't like those 4s. Like, why can you make it 3.5 or 6.5? Like,
hey, by the way, Scott, we're at week 3. So we've made 9 picks so far, right?
Yeah.
8 of my picks have been spreads, not over-unders.
That's true. And look, you're in first place. Should have done this shit all this time. Nah,
Yeah, it's overrated.
Mr. 2
All
and 4.
right. I'm gonna change that this week. So my first pick, I'm gonna be at the game tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the Patriots +6.5. It's gonna be low scoring, a bunch of running the ball. I feel like the Patriots defense we won't stop Breece Hall, but we'll maintain them. And I feel like it's obviously going to be a defensive battle. And I really think the Patriots are going to win outright. But I'll take the 6.5. And my second pick is I'm going Philly +2.5. Underdogs against the Saints. All right, I know the Saints are on a high note right now, but like it's time to let's get back to reality. So I feel like the Eagles are going to take care of business there. And my last pick is my third pick. I'm gonna give me the Texans. I think they're -1.5.
That's what at the hell they at?
Forget.
They're at the Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Texans -1.5. -1.5. They just look good. I get they played the Bears. Well, they played week 1. They played the Colts divisional game, but they just look good. So give me the Texans -1.5.
Sir, we're gonna move the line for you to 6.5 with Nas, not the +6. So you got that hook on for you. All right, Mr. Goose Egg, me. Trust me this week, I swear. All right, I'm gonna go with the Colts -2 at home. They had a real. They bombed. I don't know what happened to them last week. I think they're coming back home. They're gonna win -2. I really have no logic behind that because I'm 1-5. So just
hold on. I'm about to write down your picks. I'm about to bet the opposite. Hold on.
Right.
Colts minus.
Yeah. Okay, and then I am going with my Dallas Cowboys +1.5. I know it's a risky game. I just like a bounce back game after being just completely embarrassed 44-19 by the Saints. So give me Dallas +1.5. And my third pick, Monday night, I'm going to Buffalo. I might actually go with Buffalo in my survivor pool. -5 at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Buffalo coming off 10 days. They played last Thursday. Jaguars just haven't looked good at all since that first half in Miami. But I like Josh Allen to win MVP this year. I think the Bills are going to roll this year. Might not win the division, but I think they'll be in a divisional or championship game again. So give me the Bills -5. Mike, I hope I just didn't jinx them for you.
No, you didn't. And actually, I didn't. I was gonna pick the Cowboys, but I wanted to leave them for you. I knew you were gonna pick them, so you know my rules. I don't like to pick picks that people already picked. So I was like, let's keep the Cowboys with Scott.
I normally stay away from my team, but for some reason I do like them this week. I liked them last week too, but well, who the fuck knows? So that's our pick.
Going 0-3, huh?
Yeah, it could happen, man. And this game means more to them because Dallas 1-2 in that division. They'll be fine, especially with the Giants the week after. All right, so we got to get to our fantasy sleepers. Nas, you were running late here, so I hope you got one. Last week, the fantasy sleeper, all three of us hit except Sir. We had some good weeks again. Shakir, Aaron Rodgers will all be doing the thumbs up, thumbs down since he got 19 points, is what it is. Nas is, I forget who you went with last week, Nas, but he did pretty well. And Sir, your Alan Lazard pick was a dud. So
yeah, listen, at plus 3,900, it's all right. You know, it wouldn't kill your lineup.
That's true. All right, so my sleeper this week with Debo out, Juwan Jennings for the Niners, 4,100. You know, it's a pretty decent receiver, so we'll go with that. Juwan Jennings, 4,100. Sir.
I was actually looking at Juwan Jennings, but I didn't go that route. I went with at a quarterback position. Somebody who just got that's the keys to the team. Give me Andy Dalton at 4,800. Listen. I don't think the Panthers are that bad of a team. It's just Bryce Young was certified trash. Like, you know, they got some weapons with Deontay Johnson, Thielen. Like, they got some pieces, and like, give me my man. Andy Dalton's been playing in the league, what, 40 years, 50 years?
Well, every quarterback that plays for the Panthers is ass.
I know Andy Dalton. He can do something.
Oh, nobody talks about Steve Berline like that.
At 4,800, talking about in the past 10 years, Scott. Not.
Listen, 4,800. As you know, what I'm saying, you could put him with some stars and get a nice little lineup. So give me Andy Dalton.
Jake Delhomme. We get it.
Hey man, don't sleep on Delhomme, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love Delhomme. I love it.
Stunk. That's another case of a guy who got to the Super Bowl who is nowhere near a top 10 quarterback in the league. But I digress. Sorry. I don't want to go on a Jake Delhomme rant here. Mike,
So my pick is going to be similar to yours. A lot of pieces missing on this team. I'm going to pick a Rams receiver, Tyler Johnson, at 4,700. They're missing Puka. They're missing Kupp. I think they're going to be, throwing it to Robinson and this guy Johnson. So I think Johnson's going to have a big game.
All right. The Rams look for the other team.
Yeah, Rams might start 0-3 as well. I was going to pick them in my picks, but the hook left. It was plus 7.5, but then it went to just an even 7. I don't like tying. Nah.
I'm gonna go with Trey McBride from Arizona. I feel like when they play Detroit this week, it's going to be a shootout. They're going to have to throw it, and Kyler Murray seems to be real good friends with Trey McBride.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
I don't care.
Nah, like that's his name. Like that's his bread and butter. So I'm gonna go Trey McBride.
And he throws
speaking of Trey McBride, just Marvin Harrison Jr. last week. He put on he did eye for himself.
Right.
Week 1, he kind of didn't do a damn thing, but then week 2 he redeemed himself a little bit. Like
kind of like Neighbors and Harrison finally did something.
When is Keon Coleman gonna what's up with him?
Well, Keon Coleman was a second-round pick. I mean, we're not giving him as many snaps as Neighbors and Harrison.
Well, first of all, wasn't he the second-round pick, like 33 overall, though?
Yeah, he's technically a second-round pick, Scott.
I mean, come on, like that's such like cutting hair, splitting hair.
Technicality, you know what I'm saying? Lawyered.
There's a big difference between 4th overall and 33. Okay, so he's not going to get the amount of snaps that Harrison and Neighbors are getting.
Has he even caught a pass this year?
Yeah, he's caught 4 passes. Yeah,
there you go. That's good for somebody who was a second-round pick. Because if he was drafted 31st, I'd expect a lot more from him.
We're gonna spread the ball around, so I'm not too worried about Keon Coleman. He'll have his games where he blows up, but I mean it's week 2. I mean I'm not worried about it.
Fine. I wouldn't worry about the Bills. It'll be between you and the Jets at the end of the year for that division. And Nas with Tua out, I mean you might not finish last. This could actually.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Unbelievable.
Everybody no. Everybody laughed at me when I said it.
Also, we could just throw and burn Mike's MVP pick of Jared Goff in the fucking fire now. So that can happen in week 2. So I don't have to buy you a jersey because there's no way that's happening. But I respect the ball.
Bold prediction. We were supposed to say something. No,
You're right. I said the Texans won't make the playoffs. That's not looking too good because that.
Hey, and I said Dennis Allen will get fired by week 2, so that's not good either.
That's a bad one too. Yeah. All right, my thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up. I'm going to the Dallas Cowboy game. Alvin Kamara, 4 touchdowns. Good job, man. It was, turn back the clock here. As much as it made me cry, kind of made me smile. Good for him. Thumbs down. Not only am I going with the Baltimore Ravens, this stuff happens. Justin Tucker, he is not the kicker he was anymore. I'm giving him and the Ravens thumbs down, but particularly the kicker. And if you look at his last 2 years, he hasn't kicked well over 50 yards. This stuff happens with kickers, man. It's like a hockey goalie. All of a sudden, blink of an eye, they're just not the same anymore. So, sir, I'm not giving you an honorary thumbs down this week. Sorry about that.
I do have a thumbs up player to your point, though.
Jesus.
My thumbs up player, Heidi Fairbairn. That brother's been kicking 50-yard field goals constantly.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
that's my kick on fantasy, and I don't mean to brag or nothing, but I did beat Mike in fantasy this week. But that was my kicker,
got him.
and he got me, I think, 17 and 19 points. So I'll take it.
Fairbairn's been
you didn't even need him, bro. You blew me out. You could have benched Fairbairn, and you still would have won.
Yeah,
the last 2 weeks, I think he has like 5 or 6 50-yard field goals.
Yeah. You know what, sir? If Andy Dalton comes through this week, you could do your thumbs up.
I bet.
All right, guys, that's week 2. We're wrapping it up here. So, well, not week 2. Yeah, the end of week 2, previewing week 3.
Come on now.
I'm losing my mind already, man. So enjoy your football.
You trying to forget that whooping at the Saints?
Yeah, absolutely. I am. As much as your Dennis Allen getting fired pick.
I'm happy for Kamara scoring 4 touchdowns.
I don't know because it's a diarrhea of the mouth, Mike. It just comes out. I'll look back on that and I'm like,
he did that against your team.
The important thing is there's no dead air. So I just said it knowing that I can't take a breath, and that's how I speak and do these shows. So you know what? It did make me smile a bit because I like looking in the past and I like bringing back things that make me feel young. And Alvin Kamara scoring 4 touchdowns makes me feel like it's 9 years ago when I picked him up in fantasy football. And the fact it was against my team, good. If it's going to be anybody, it's Mr. Kamara. That's all I got for that.
So when Andy Dalton balls out, you'll feel happy again because that was back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. No, actually, I despise ginger quarterbacks. That's actually a fact of mine.